Hey everybody, it's Chugga Conroy. Welcome back to more EarthBound. Last time, we came out of the pyramid, didn't say emerged, and we got the Hawkeye, the very thing that we were supposed to get from the pyramid that Gygus didn't want us getting. And then a creepy old man swooped by in a tornado, took Pooh away, and the Hawkeye with him. Oops. This time, we are in the southern portion of the Scarabian Desert. I really like calling it Scarabian. It's like Arabian, but also Scaraba, and you know, it's I don't know if there's actually an official term though, but you know, if it's one of my, I guess you'd call them Emilisms, but I guess if I coin a name for them, it sounds kind of egotistical now, doesn't it? So just one of my weirdness words, that's what we'll call them, then I'm actually kind of happy I came up with it if that's not an official term, because it sounds nice. I'm not sure it was Dungeon Man, but there's a strange-looking tower to the northwest. This key I picked up a little while ago shall maybe open the tower. You may have it. I do not need it. But it seems you have too many things. It starts. Pooh leaving the party did not come at a good time. Even though I was trying to use my items as fast as I could, they're not really... What does this even do? An ectoplasmic ooze disgorged out of a dreadful box. And the enemy may be poisoned. Gone after one use. Here, I'll return that to the sands of time. We have to get this item outright. Sorry to be a bother to you, big bro. This is the Escargot Express. Not as funny as Hey, It's Your Dad. I had a phone call from a friend of yours recently. He asked me to hold on to the Hawkeye for you. Do you know anything about this? Well, since you know about this item, I'll hold on to it for you. If you need it, I'll deliver it to you anytime you want. Oh yeah, big bro. I'm glad I could help out you and your friends. Click. I gave it to Pooh on purpose because I wanted to show you that helpful little feature that prevents you from getting yourself screwed. Chances are, we're gonna need the Hawkeye before Pooh returns to the party. Now, what do I want to get rid of? I was actually really impressed with the mummy wrap, and I kind of want to use that. What do I want to get rid of? Defense spray can take a hike. I don't need the $500 I'll get from selling. Wait a minute. No. What am I doing? This guy's a merchant. I could have just sold it to him. Okay, we'll do that instead. At least I only wasted one item before that. Ugh. Get rid of the vial of serum. How about $29? Platinum band can go away. Thank you. That was most of the money I paid for it. What about this guy's shop? Oh boy, let me tell you about this guy's shop. The French fry pan. We got a better weapon for Paula right away. That she can't carry. Ain't that the pits? Am I gonna have to wait for another customer in this crazy heat? That's harsh. Is there? I didn't know he said that because I'm always so excited to see this guy's shop that I've always bought something from him. Again, EarthBound, you just have so many things for me to learn and I will never stop learning them. I wouldn't doubt if I'd be a 75-year-old man and we still have new things to learn about this. He can't run his business in town. Well, okay. We got the French fry pan. We're gonna give that to Paula. Got 10 more offense, and you can take my non-stick pan. If you heard me say that I was only bringing money to demonstrate things, and you didn't bring money yourself, and you can't afford these items, I didn't steer you wrong. You're gonna have the capability to get your money soon. I just did it to be efficient. The Crusher Beam is more powerful for Jeff, so I think we'll give that to him. There's some other things here. The secret herb we've seen before, the beef jerky. It's a little bit of a shame the bottle of DX water isn't in a place where we can actually use Pooh. The bazooka is an interesting item. This is, I am not joking, an infinite use bomb that only Jeff can use. It never breaks. You can use this as many times as you like. It might as well replace Jeff's regular attack. I'm not going to buy it because we already have the broken bazooka from the Foreside sewers. And if you did not get that item, I recommend you do whatever it takes to go back there and get it so that you don't have to buy this one. It seems like $1,000 wouldn't be a big deal, but I'll explain later. Now, we gotta talk. One of my biggest complaints with EarthBound, by far, one of the things that I have said, you know, I stand by as a criticism of the game, is that a lot of items aren't in a good place. You know, you get the bicycle right before you get Paula, and you never get to ride it again after that, so it kind of sucks if you were wishing for faster movement speed, because they gave it to you for all of 10 seconds and then took it away. There were the PP recovery items becoming common as soon as Pooh joined. There was the pencil eraser being needed for the end of a dungeon and you having no way of knowing that. The multi-bottle rocket, I think, might be the greatest example of an item being in a bad spot. We've established that the Bag of Dragonite is an extremely helpful attacking item. It does around 700 to 800 damage to a single enemy and anyone can use it. The multi-bottle rocket can only be used by Jeff, and as the name implies, it's more powerful than the big bottle rocket. How much more powerful? Well, let's try it out on the Marauder Octobot and see what it does. $1,829 damage! Why am I allowed to normally purchase this? That thing is a weapon of mass destruction. I'm pretty sure that the explosion knocked him into last week. What is this thing? Oh, you have a psychic shield. Well, that kind of stinks. Okay, but yeah. The way that big bottle rockets work is that it rolls 3 regular bottle rockets and it sees how many of them hit and adds up the damage. Multi-bottle rocket adds up 10 of them. I hope that you've been loading Jeff up with his luck stat, because the time has come for Jeff to come into his own. With this one item, Jeff is hands down the most powerful character in the game. A while ago I was saying that, you know, give Jeff a chance, he'll surprise you. If this is your first time playing, I want to know if you thought for a second he was gonna surprise you that much. Nothing else matters. I know that sounds ridiculous, but it really doesn't. This multi-bottle rocket, this isn't even the most damage it can do. As Jeff's luck stat gets higher, he will do more damage with it because less of those bottle rockets that are getting rolled are going to miss. That's honestly, I would consider that middle of the road damage for how good it normally is. I am not kidding once again. There is no boss from this point onward that the multi-bottle rocket is not able to one-shot. Unless they're a boss that has a fixed number of turns to kill, like Master Belch does or something like that. Yeah. When I say any boss, I mean any boss. Even the final boss loses all their HP in one turn to the multi-bottle rocket. As you can guess, I am barring myself from using it in important fights. If you want an easy time, go for it. If you're a speedrunner, go for it. If you just are mad at an enemy that's been giving you trouble, go for it, by all means. But I think it's just a little bit too much. Looks like you could enter, but it's locked. It's okay, I'll unzip his fly with this. Okay, I think that was in Jeff's inventory now. Yes, I put the key to the tower in there. What does this say, actually? An old key. Riveting. I used the key to his tower, alright. So, as for the multi-bottle rocket being in a bad place, why it's a good example of that? Well, I think the Bag of Dragonite should have been an item that you could buy, and the multi-bottle rocket should have been an item that you could only find in like 2 or 3 present boxes in the whole game, having to think wisely about what you want to use them on, essentially having a couple of free boss fights if you were good enough to seek them out and, you know, were really diligent about finding secrets. If not that, then I think the damage of the 2 items should have been swapped if they were going to maintain having the Bag of Dragonite be so limited, because why on earth is the Bag of Dragonite... Why on EarthBound is the Bag of Dragonite limited, and now that... pizza... Hold on a minute. First off, I need to heal. Second off, I want to know what the chances of that being dropped were, because that does not seem common. Oh, wow. I was not wrong about that. I know me some EarthBound. Yes, I indeedly do. That was a 1 in 64 chance of dropping from the mystical record. Cool. Anyway, welcome to Dungeon Man. Welcome. You're inside of my body. I entered through your tower. My statistics show that 70% of people go to the right first. Brick Road. I wouldn't doubt if there's an actual statistic in dungeon design. If you check this bench, it's just like checking into a hotel. That's good, because Jeff's got some broken items. Good night, bench. May you relax and recover your health and spirits. Working through the night, Jeff fixed the broken cannon. After being fixed, the broken cannon became the Spectrum Beam. If that's more powerful than what I just bought, then that's a little bit of a letdown. Because I was expecting him to repair the other thing long before he repaired that one. Yeah, 6 more points. I guess the Crusher Beam's going away. Because we can heal as many times as we want, I think I'm gonna try this a few times and see if I can get Jeff to fix the other thing he's got. I got so excited when I saw the text box. I spent more nights in this man's tower than I would like to admit, but I could not get Jeff to restore the other item. Hello, it's your dad! Ness, I am your father. You've been out there a long time now, maybe none of my business. What's the word I'm looking for? No. What else we got? It's a dungeon owner's obligation to hire a doctor and a nurse. Brick Road. You have an ATM, you have a doctor, and the ability to bring back your fallen party members inside, which is pretty nice. I'm glad that they're not mad about the abrupt accommodations and do their job regardless. That's good. We need more doctors in the world like that who kind of go out into the boonies and help people who can't get access to healthcare. Now it's sounding like I'm pitching a charity to you or something, but that is actually a legitimate problem in the world that is very good that there are people out there fixing. Anyway, yeah, on more lighthearted and fuzzy pickly notes, I did not acknowledge the Scalding Cup of Coffee. This was an enemy that we could have fought back in the Foreside department store, and this is your last chance to fight it. I wasn't too concerned with the fact that it didn't pop up because I was just concerned with, you know, not dying a horrible, painful death back there. But here they are now. Similarly, there is the mystical record in the worthless protoplasm, so it has all the shared enemies with that location. The Scalding Cup of Coffee, in addition to it being your last chance to fight it, it often drops, if it will. No. It often drops a cup of coffee, which I interpret just being that after they knock it over, they pick it back up in time so it doesn't spill all of its contents and then take it with them. Keep this board in mind. Brick Road. Even though you can't get up there now, you might be able to later. We're breaking down the basics of dungeon design. Your first goal is to reach the 4 ropes. I kind of like this idea that you have an in-universe dungeon designer who's explaining the philosophy of game design, you know, putting items at the end of dead ends and rewarding the player for various things, having a place for you to heal at the start of it. It's kind of funny and a fourth wall breaky in a different kind of way, but you have a long way to go. Getting some rest and relaxation may save you. Ooh, perhaps another chance? No. I was hopeful. Anyway, whenever I use that voice where I'm like, okay, this is kind of funny, well, explore the dungeon, why don't you make a pit stop? I wonder why I'm in this restroom right here. Just who am I? What is life all about? Oh, I'm sorry. Did I make you nervous? I'm not dangerous. Don't worry. Like all bathrooms, it is occupied. Anyway, as I was saying, whenever I use that voice where I'm like, okay, I guess this is kind of funny, but you know that some not so great things are on the way. I'm not that big of a fan of Dungeon Man, at least not as an area. I think as a character, he's fine, but, like, I don't know. I'm not really that big of a fan of the area itself. I don't think he's... What am I trying to say here? I think the area itself is just kind of boring. I feel like we've been going through a long dungeon already as it is. That the fact that it has enemies that we saw so many areas ago, and they're not even any harder, meaning that they just kind of waste your time, I already don't like that. But what I don't like even more than that... You're seeing the problem here a little bit, aren't you? I was saying that, another problem that I have is that in addition to these being weak enemies, you're seeing that there's present boxes everywhere. And Pooh just left the party. I feel so conflicted about which items to keep, which items throw away, because they're throwing items at you left and right faster than I can even justify using them. I feel like to not be refrigerator shuffling through this entire place, I have to be really expending my resources, be it either through PP spamming or something else. Items that are easy to get are usually disappointing. Oh! That's pretty funny. Like I said, I like the character, I like the gags, I like the idea. I just wish there were tougher enemies and they weren't throwing items at you all the time. Plus, I want you to listen to this music. I hate to say it, and this might be a bit of a controversial opinion. You are free to tell me that I have no musical aptitude and have no idea what I'm talking about, and I will wholeheartedly agree with you. Where'd you build a billboard without a message? I don't see one. Maybe up there? I don't like this song very much. And it pains me to say that because this is a remix of the Beatles' Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, and I love that album. It's great, but I don't think that this is a good remix, and I find it kind of obnoxious, I find it kind of repetitive, and among everything else, I don't really think that I can't... Gee, that's fair. I don't think it's doing this place any favors when I already don't like some other things about it. The Scalding Hot Espresso right there. It hit all of us by using it spilled some Scalding Hot coffee on us. That's yet another instance of a water attack being treated as fire. Yet again, almost any time that you see an attack, like, I meant to do fire. I guess those were some cool beats. There's the cup of coffee. It's okay. This guy's done doing evil for the rest of his days. I'll just leave him on the floor. So that he can cool off and then rot and think about what he did into eternity as he gets overrun by leeches and maggots. I don't know if that actually happens to coffee, but probably does. What is at the end of this one? Learn from your mistakes. Follow this, and you're bound to be successful in EarthBound. That's kind of nice. But I still don't like the music, the enemies, the items, or really anything about this place other than the character. Grass is always greener on the other rope. I wonder why that is. Yeah, I'll say the same thing. You have a strong-looking body, and you like to be a dungeon worker. Down we go, up we go. And then over this way, what is at the end of the long corridor? This is the second floor of my body, Brick Road. What's a dungeon? That is my eternal question. Brick Road. Alright, we gotta talk about something else. This is the third free full heal they have given us since we've come in here. And for what? This is just making me resent that you're giving me tons of items that I'm having to inevitably throw away. I don't like it. I'm sorry. What is this enemy? You got... Ooh, a Lesser Moog. This is one of the guys that we saw briefly when we were in Winters. I think he resisted freeze. You don't have anything else you could really do, though, so I'll give it a freeze beta just so I'm not spending too much PP, and we'll try it out there. 21 damage, I was correct. I think I didn't use that much PP. Not like there's not a full heal right next to me and I don't even have to worry about it. Oh, didn't work on the Super Plush Bear. Nice. I guess they're not made of water, so they're not really susceptible to the cold. In some ways, having a teddy bear with you is better than having Pooh. I will call him Pooh too. And I will pretend like he talks and is a permanent party member. Let's, I want to go over there and see what that signpost says, just because I want to read all of them and want to give that. Oh, there's a hole down below. You don't have to worry about that for now. Down there, I'm not able to get to them. Sometimes these guys will spawn outside of those areas down there. Those are Moonsidian enemies. When I said that you'd get another chance to fight enemies from Moonside, this is what I was talking about. If you want to get any item drops from them, if you missed out on fighting any enemy and you want to fight them for any reason whatsoever, now is your chance. The reason why I recommended fighting them in Moonside and why I was saying that you technically get another chance, though I don't recommend it, is because it's kind of rare to get them in a spot where you can actually touch them, so they're just kind of sitting there taunting you. You're standing right around my belly button. I knew your belly button led to an alternate dimension. I'm pretty sure some kid thought that they were forbidden from opening their belly button again because it did that. It's just such a... Okay, that one's kind of funny. It just... I don't know. When you're a kid, it's so fascinating that your belly button is closed up and you can't open it, and, you know, you gotta wonder what's on the other side. I'm not giving you an invitation to do that if you've ever wondered that if you're a kid too, though, but when I was a kid, I wondered about it a lot, wondering why I couldn't open it, and I'd pick at it, and my parents would tell me to stop, and it didn't really stop me, but, you know, they tried. Pizza inside. Okay, what can I throw away? Anything? There was a phone downstairs. I guess I could have gotten rid of the key to the tower. That's kind of another thing, is that I always assume the key to the tower gets taken from you because you only use it once. This Dolomi's food's probably not really going to be that helpful compared to a pizza. We're all filthy Americans, damn it. We'll have the pizza instead. I knew that if I went on an adventure to save the world, I didn't have my mom telling me what to do. I would just have pizza all the time. And I would never get sick of it. Come on now, this is pizza we're talking about. You can just get different toppings on it. Why don't parents understand this stuff? Removing my subjective opinion, another negative about Dungeon Man that's kind of more of an objective thing is, if you can believe it, it's a place where a lot of people get stuck. And not because the difficulty is so impossible to deal with, no. The most obtuse thing about Dungeon Man is that if you ever leave the area and come back because, I don't know, you wanted to buy some multi-bottle rockets now that you saw that there was an ATM here and you know how good they are, you'll use the key on Dungeon Man again because it didn't leave your inventory, and it will say that he's already open, not letting you back in. You have to check him where the door is, the door that you can't see on him, by the way, in order to enter him again. It's one of the very few times that you, A, cannot see the door that you're walking through, and B, have to check a door in order to go through it. I personally never got lost on this, but I've heard about it confusing other people. And it's one of those game design goof-ups that really should not have been a problem or given anybody trouble, because it really is not the player's fault. Gee, will you look at that? The character who's a game designer has some of the worst game design in the entire game. It's just lame that you use the key once, it lets you in, you use the key twice, and it says he's already open and doesn't let you in when that's what it did before. And look at this, we got yet another place where we can heal. I do kind of like how this floor is an enemy zoo, though. It's kind of fun. Does this tell us the same thing as before? Why don't you take a nice little rest here? Yeah, why don't you take a nice little rest all the time? Wet towel, I don't care. Yeah, I feel crummy leaving all these items behind. I don't need them. I really don't need them. I don't care. I think on this floor you have a chance of fighting the Dolly's Clock enemy from Moonside, which you would know from the different overworld sprite. Not really seeing him though, so I guess we're just gonna go up. Good job, you finally made it. That face is mine. Feel free to talk to it. Referring to your own face as an it feels so wrong. Welcome! Long time no see. Mr. Jeff, we met in Winters a long time ago. I'm Brick Road. Dr. Ananus finally made me a dungeon man. If you want, I'll come with you guys for a while. The return hole is over there. Jump in that hole and then walk out. Don't worry, we're on the 4th floor of his body. That means that he's gonna throw us up, not do anything else. Goodbye, exit. Someday, you should enter with courage. Brick Road. Don't have anything to do with that. We can't get to it, so I guess we're just gonna take the normal exit. I do appreciate a man who has a level design taste that have him giving us multiple exits. Not gonna get to see what that was unless it drops a 1 in 128 item and I identify it by that, but no it didn't. What does this have? IQ kit. I'm getting rid of something for that. What do I not need? Not need. And yeah, I know Paula has a multi-bottle rocket. I bought one more for just sake of having it, but I'll give that to Jeff at a later time. I haven't forgotten about it. I've just been kind of... I've been kind of full up on items. I guess... I was the one talking about all the pizza and eating it every day, so I guess I'll take that. I won't be a hypocrite. I'll go by the words to live by that I'm giving you. I'll give the multi-bottle rocket to Jeff now before I forget and before we can't give it to anyone. I'm going to take the IQ capsule. Pooh's going to rejoin up with us again someday, and I want to give that to him when he does. And there we go. I'm surprised Super Plush Bear lived. Check it out. The teddy bear is back there, and that's kind of funny. If we get into a battle, this guy is actually a part of Grave You a Great Big Hug? No. Man, I cannot talk for anything today. I'm just mispronouncing everything. Yeah, he actually will fight. 467 damage. I was gonna say 764 damage. He's really powerful. Out of all the traveling companions we've had that are not controllable party members, he is by far the strongest. And hey, a gachapon! More items that I get to feel terrible about that I have no room for. He didn't even get to attack, actually. Enemy left a present, a can of fruit juice. I'm happy. I don't care about that at all. I don't have to feel crummy anymore. I'm out of Dungeon Man, and even though this sweltering desert isn't all that much better, it's something. And then there's you. Pictures taken instantaneously. I'm a photographic genius if I do say so myself. Okay, get ready for some memory. Look at the camera. Ready, say, Fuzzy Pickles. If only Jeff could be behind Dungeon Man. That would have been a feat if I could have aligned that up. But I don't know how possible that actually is. Now... who am I kidding? I might as well expend all the resources I can because... yeah, we're kind of getting fully healed left and right. Ouch. Pooh. That really is like having Pooh in the party. He's dead. I want to show you that, Dungeon Man's a pretty big guy, but, he can make sprite layers mess up by walking around some trees. Open up that item. Vial of serum. You do that, and then suddenly the trees are an excuse plot. I like to think maybe he's just a pacifist and it was too traumatic fighting for him, so he needed a convenient excuse. I think it makes more sense than what actually happened. Well, I believe it is impossible for me to move from this spot. Do not worry about me. Please continue on. We got more of the desert to cross, and we got to enjoy having our resident overpowered party member for a very short time. It's okay. I'm a seasoned young man. I know how these things go. I've already been through Buzz. Next time on EarthBound, we explore more of the Scarabian Desert because I need to go into pause before I lose all my health. See you guys then.